Hello and welcome back. My name is Laura. And if you are new to this channel, thank you for joining. In today's video, I am going to be doing a couple different things. I'm going to be giving you a tour of my garden, and this was when I was week 6 after I had planted this garden. And then I'm also about halfway through the video, I am then going to show you my garlic harvest, and in the video I'm going to kind of explain why I harvested so early. So this video is delayed in posting because life happens and I didn't get around to it. When I originally recorded this video, it was, I think, around June 11th time. And then there was another snippet around June 21st time. We are in week 13 of post-planting my garden. So we are at the end of July right now. I know most people who grew garlic, especially if you're anywhere near my zone, I'm in zone 6B, you've probably already harvested your garlic and did whatever you need to preserve it. But I like to do these videos for a couple of reasons. Number one, I like to track my own journey. I like to track my successes and failures. I also like to be able to see what my garden looked like at the time during different times of the year, and that also helps me try to plan for the future, maybe do things different. Sometimes things are out of our control, such as Mother Nature, but I just wanted to preface this video to let you know that the first part is going to be showing you what my garden looked like around week 6. I'm going to do just a really quick snippet of what my garden looks like today, and we are in week 13. So let me show you that real quick. This is what my garden looks like today. It is July 28th, 2024. And the only reason why I wanted to show you is just so you could see how grown up all of this is. So you're going to see in the video my bean plants here. And let me just open up real quick. I won't go into details, but I just wanted to show you all my tomato plants here and here. I know it looks like a jungle. I've already done several harvests, and then on this other side it's a row of peppers, different types of peppers. A tip and a word of advice to anyone who grows plants, germinates them from seeds: be sure you label your plants, because I have more banana peppers than anything in here. I don't know what happened. I was supposed to have a bunch of jalapenos and poblanos and whatnot. But anyways, this is what my garden looks like today in week 13. So now, before I get started, the reason why I wanted to do a preface to this video is because I had to harvest my garlic earlier than anticipated. I usually harvest my garlic around 4th of July, but I had to harvest it weeks earlier this year. So I'm going to show you not only my garden tour and my garlic harvest, I'm going to show you what happened to my garlic, why I think it happened. You're going to see the harvest of my garlic for 2024, and you're going to see how I preserve it. And there's going to be other videos down below, links that you can click on. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video. So when I planted my garden, it was on May 5th. That was week 1. We are currently, today is the 11th, so we are in week 6 now. I'm going to show you the garden so you can see the progress that it's made so far. And this is today. I am thrilled, actually. I mean, minus the weeds. I need to get in here and get some of these weeds and grasses that are growing in there. But for the most part, it is doing really well. My beans are doing well. They've already grown. These are my green beans, pole beans. They've already grown up to the top. Same with on this side. We got some green beans growing. Got some more up here. Yeah, so I'll probably harvest some of these. If you saw my note to self video from last year, it was a video of everything that I saw last year and what I wasn't thrilled with and the changes that I was going to make this year. So one of the changes was I was not going to use tomato cages. I was going to use stakes, and there's some wire up here, and then I just use twine to kind of twine around plant as it grows to help hold it up. These are doing very well. I need to come in here and prune some of the lower branches. My marigolds are getting really big. That's a marigold there. There's a marigold back there, although I gotta, oh my, okay, so I'm gonna have to twine this up too. You can see my marigold back there, and it's starting to bloom. Got some flowers. Oh, I got some tomatoes growing. I didn't label these. I gotta go back and watch the video to see which tomatoes are which, but I am gonna bet these are the Romas. So I have several Romas in here. This is a rogue tomatillo plant. I'll have to come out here and weed maybe this weekend. I've got dill growing in random places. My cucumbers are doing well. I've already harvested, I think maybe 3 or 4 of them already. And there's all kinds of flowers on here. And I see some more plants trying to grow. These are my lettuce that have gone to seed. Check out some of these onions. I think these were like bunching onions, but man, they got huge. And I have cut some and eaten some, and they're actually really good. And then this mess right here that you see, this is all of my garlic. So the reason why I'm coming out here today and not waiting until the weekend, all of my garlic was blown over in a storm we had. I was trying to keep them in the ground as long as possible. My concern was that it was going to rot in the ground. I know, I can already tell that the bulbs of the garlic are not as big as what they were last year, but I am willing to go ahead and sacrifice that. I would rather have something in terms of garlic rather than nothing at all. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest this, and I'll show you what that looks like. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you some of the rest of this. I have my sunflowers growing here. So I have all of my pepper plants all through here, and they seem to be doing really well. I'll probably eventually have to cage those as they get bigger. My melons on the other side, my cantaloupes, they're not doing as well as I had hoped, but I'm just going to give it a chance. Maybe once the weather warms up really well, they should do better. And sometimes some of my gardening is last minute, just throw some seeds in, and that's what I did in some of these bags. These are grow bags that I have. I do grow in here from time to time. I have zucchini in 3 of the bags. And then this one, I had some extra potatoes. I decided I'm going to throw these in here. I have grown potatoes in bags before, and they actually do really well, and they're very easy to harvest. We'll see how the potatoes do on the other side. If you caught that video of me planting the, I think it was 3 different types of potatoes. It's all overgrown right now, but we'll see how we do, and I might opt next year to go ahead and just plant all my potatoes in bags. If you remember me planting, I have 1 row of tomatoes here, and I have 1 row of tomatoes back here. And both of these tomatoes were purchased at stores. One is the Campari tomatoes that I've purchased at Sam's. I can't remember which one's which, and the other one are the honey bombs. If you've ever had honey bombs from Aldi's, they are the best little cherry tomatoes I've ever had. They're super sweet they literally do have a hint of honey flavor to them. So I decided to plant both of those since I love both of those types of tomatoes. And here is a cucumber plant doing very well. Looks like I have a couple of rogue sunflowers. I didn't pull them, I went ahead and left them alone. Have some dill growing in here, and marigold. I try to pop marigolds in where I can. All right, I'm gonna show you the other side real quick, and then I'm gonna harvest my garlic. Here is this side. Again, my green beans that are pole green beans. Tomatoes are doing well. can see a little baby cucumber growing down here. Got lots of beautiful flowers on here. Some basil, which I have basil peppered in throughout the garden. Basil, I have a lavender back there in the corner. I got to get in here and weed. Let's see, I have some more marigolds that are peppered on the back side. And no pun intended. I have parsley in random places that I kind of just threw in the ground because we use that when we cook. But the peppers are doing really well. And I notice some of them are flowering. Oh, this one's got several flowers on it. Beautiful, beautiful. Looks like I have a couple of rogue zinnias. Those are my cantaloupes. Some of the leaves are doing fine. I don't know. We'll just have to see how they do. And I need to get my soaker hoses in here because I have the pipes all set up where all I do is I connect the hoses in 3 different places in the backside, and then I run the hoses there, and over there. Some sunflowers. Okay, so let me go ahead and get all this harvested, and kind of dreading what it's going to look like. But like I said, I would rather have something from my garlic than a bunch of rotten garlic, because we do use a lot of garlic in this household when we cook. Let's just start. Okay. Oh. Oh, I'm just gonna be sad. I can already tell there's quite a few small bulbs. All right, I'm just gonna continue doing this until I get them all out of the ground. So I went ahead and harvested all of the garlic that was in this section. What I might do is I might amend the soil and maybe get a late planting of possibly pepper plants. The reason why I'm so hooked on pepper plants is I want to try to grow as many jalapenos as possible because of this amazing, it's cowboy candy is what it's called, that Todd makes, and he cans, and it is gone before the winter's even over because it is so delicious. So I decided I was going to plant a whole bunch of jalapenos this year. Same reason for the green beans, because he canned this amazing spicy dill green beans. It was so good. Anyways, so last fall when I planted all the garlic, I planted over 100 bulbs. This is all of them. I don't know if you can see in there. I probably have close to a dozen heads that look like this. It was because when I tried to pull them out, they broke. Now the rest of these, some of them, they're not, I mean, they're smaller than what they were last year. I can post that video of my harvest from last year. It was amazing. Like that one's not too terrible. This was the average size last year. Unfortunately, this year, I got a lot of little ones, but I think we will still be able to dry them. I will also braid them. The next step is I'm going to cure, which means I'm basically going to set them out and let them dry out for probably at least a couple of weeks before I even attempt to braid these. These are my soft net garlic. I will link all the videos that I did last year in terms of the garlic, and I mean, that's the best way. That's how I compare my successes and failures. I don't know if there was anything else that I could have done, but I was really disappointed at the fact that they were as small as what they were this year. This one's a pretty good sized one. Not too bad. So here is all my garlic that I harvested today. This is how I cure my garlic. I just set it on, this is just a folding table. So I'm gonna set it out here. This is under my covered porch right now, which is facing the east. We'll get the morning sun and then it shades pretty quickly. Like by noon, this will be completely shaded. I tried to put the bigger bulbs over on this side and then the smaller bulbs on this side. This is not the type of harvest I got last year, like I said. I think what happened was, I mean, some of the bulbs are a pretty decent size, but the average bulbs last year were probably close to this size. And I think what happened was we really didn't have that cold of a winter. Anybody who is a garlic growing expert, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I do know that garlic, soft neck garlic, which is what all this is, soft neck garlic requires cold in order for it to bulb up and out. We did have some cold snaps, but it wasn't cold for extended periods of time. It was a little bit warmer than usual for our winters. We are in zone 6B. So, and like I said, that storm that blew through knocked them all down like I showed you earlier. But anyways, so I am going to let this cure. After it dries out for a little bit, I'm probably going to go ahead and maybe move it in my garage until it's ready for me to braid for over the next year. This is my garlic harvest for 2024. I went ahead and I started braiding my garlic. I did a video on braiding garlic. I will be sure to link that. It should be on the screen, and I will also link that in the description box below. It was actually one of my first videos I put out last year. I haven't been recording that long. It's still a very valid video. I still braid my garlic the same way. So be sure to go check that video out. I have a lot of smaller garlic bulbs, like I said. I wasn't impressed with this harvest, but it's still going to be great. I'm sure, I know I planted over 100 cloves last fall, and I haven't counted it yet, but I'm sure it's at least 100 bulbs that I got out of it. Braiding garlic is a great way for storing your garlic throughout the year. We actually still have some garlic from the 2023 harvest and braiding, which is when I did my braiding video, and they still look beautiful. Let me show you real quick. So this is the last of my 2023 garlic harvest, and you can see that they are holding up very well with the braiding. I think braiding is the best way to preserve your garlic, especially if you plan on keeping it for a long time. And just to give you an idea, we are in June. I believe the date is June, 21st today. So to compare the size, now when I braided this garlic right here is the one I just braided from this year's harvest, and these were the biggest bulbs. So it's not too horrible, but there were a lot of smaller garlic bulbs as well. But anyways, if you gained some value in this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and be sure you subscribe so you can continue following me on my garden, chickens, makeovers. Got some great back patio pool deck makeovers coming up and already out on the mini projects. I appreciate you. That is a wrap. Until next time, thank you for watching.